Hi, this video was inspired by a comment made by one of my viewers, Runwise Gamgee. We were talking about certain aspects of fun and role-playing games in my recent update video. I'm going to put the link to that video in the description. The theme of elitism, being elite in role-playing games, came out. I think this is somewhat of a simple yet complex topic because there are some true and false things to elitism in role-playing games. I wanted to offer my general thoughts on that concept. I think it is possible to be elite in role-playing games, but I certainly don't want to say that I have reached that elite state, because I have a very high concept of it. For me, it would be too perfect of a concept for me to call myself elite. So when it comes to matters of being elite in any profession, in any hobby, in any activity, in any project, I think it's better when someone else calls you elite. I don't think it's such a good idea to call yourself elite. You can do it, you are free to do so, of course, but you better have something to back it up, because otherwise people are going to think that you are full of crap. Because I've seen many so-called elite role players and they fail terribly in their sessions, in their reasoning. Some of them, they run their adventures as if they are some sort of frustrated author. They just want to read a story to their players, and they are moving things on rails. It's a theme park ride with no agency on the part of the players. The game master is dictating when they need to do some rolls. That is, the checks are not carried out according to the actions or the ideas of the player characters. The game master is basically running the characters along, and when this check happens according to the module, then he or she tells them, okay, make a roll for this attribute or this skill, and they do that, and they proceed with the adventure, with the game master reading the entirety of the adventure and just making those pauses so that the players make those rolls. I've seen other cases where the so-called elite role players, they eliminate the game aspect of a role-playing game. They just want to handle things as some sort of play acting. In other cases, they eliminate the roleplay altogether and they are playing the role-playing game as a board game. So yes, there are many people that call themselves elite, and in my criteria, according to my personal view, they are not. In fact, if someone were to tell me if I have ever identified an elite role player, it would be many years back when I first started to play role-playing games. I learned with the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition box set, and I learned the wrong way. It was a what do you do, mother may I way of playing. But when I went to Texas and I saw this dungeon master running a Dungeons and Dragons game in a hobby store, I was it was astonishing for me. I was taken aback, surprised as how things proceeded in true roleplay fashion. Without asking questions, rather, the players were interacting with the game world. If they wanted to know something about the game world, they talked to different non-player characters, they went through scrolls and books. The game master was describing the situation, he presented the scene, the objects, the people, the places, and then he let the players interact with the world. He wasn't dictating what they should do or they should not do. So that was my awakening to true roleplay, and it took a few years for me to fully grasp the concept. So when it comes to being elite, I think it's a good idea for everyone to strive towards that, because when you are playing role-playing games, you are playing because you want to be carrying out that activity. You're going to have fun playing role-playing games, but you can have fun in so many other ways. If you, like I've said in other videos, if you take a basketball and run around with it as if it was football, that's not actually basketball. But maybe you are having fun with that. Have fun, do it. Take that basketball and run around with it. take your baseball and play it as if you are playing golf. Maybe it's going to ruin your golf clubs, but if you're having fun and if you have the money for that, go for it. But do not try to trick others into telling them I play role-playing games when in fact you are not. But like I said, this is not like a way to establish some sort of level of what elite is. It's not to say, oh, if you do this, you are elite. If not, you are not elite, and like that. But I think the concept of being elite it's admirable to strive towards that concept, but always be mindful to see if there is integrity when someone calls himself or herself elite and he or she is not actually elite, as you can see when they are actually running games. Or there are channels that portray this, like I say, elitist mindset, but they have no videos showcasing their skills in the moment of truth. So there is not a lot of merit. Yes, like I said, it's a difficult, somewhat complex concept. I am still trying to gather my thoughts on the many nuances and intricacies concerning the elite playstyle, but I can tell you that it's a great idea to strive towards that elite state, because you can potentially get more fun out of a role-playing game like that. But do not feel pressured into achieving that sort of state, because I think that when it all comes down to it, nobody has that absolute elite state. It's like an idea that you perhaps strive for, and you can play role-playing games however you like. There is no measure. Like I said, it's not a way to, like a hard rule. It's just like a concept, an ideal perhaps. So I just wanted to give you my thoughts. I would also say that I don't know why people feel threatened by that ideal, because, for example, there are many, just here in YouTube, many so-called elite role players, and I know that, for example, under their criteria, I don't think I would be considered elite, perhaps. For example, those that don't like the game aspect of role-playing games, they're not going to consider me elite. Those that don't like actual roleplay and they want to play the RPG as a board game, they are not going to consider me elite because of the emphasis on character development, interaction, describing your actions instead of asking questions, etc. So I don't know why people would feel bothered by that. I think, like I said, everyone should feel free to consider himself or herself elite or not, and just keep doing your own thing, and see if you have fun while playing a role-playing game. If you are having fun while doing something else, then you are having fun during that sort of activity. But if you actually want to play a role-playing game, you need to play a game and you need to play a role, according to my perspective. Thank you for watching this video. I would love to hear your comments on this topic, and if you have any comments or questions in general, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile when it comes to supporting the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.